veto of the border wall resolution. Meanwhile, the House Speaker signaling she's not yet ready to talk about impeaching the president, a move some Democrats are criticizing. I'd like to bring in Democratic Congresswoman Grace Meng of New York. She sits on the House Appropriations Committee. I want to get to that first off for you. Do you agree with the Speaker's approach to the idea, and there are many members, obviously, in the caucus, around the idea of impeachment?
I do. I agree with Speaker Pelosi. I agree that we need to await the results and the evidence coming from the Mueller report.
You do at the moment. Why do you believe that you need to wait for that report to come out? Why not now? There's so many voices in your caucus.
There are so many voices, and that's the wonderful part about this new class, this new freshman class, the diversity of voices and the increased number of women who have come to Congress and joined us and helped us get into the majority. But I do agree that we need to await the evidence. We need to wait to see what comes out. And meanwhile, we're focusing on legislation and policies that are helping the American people.
I'm going to move to another topic because we just had some new reporting on this. Wilbur Ross, who runs the Treasury Department, during testimony, asked a very specific question about the citizenship question that will be added to the census potentially, which this administration would like to do. At that moment, he had said, no, that was not discussed. In fact, we will listen to that, and then I'll play it, and then I'll get your reaction.
Has the president or anyone in the White House discussed with you or anyone on your team about adding this citizenship question?
I'm not aware of any such.
And now the reporting is that he is aware of that effect. What's your reaction?
I am offended. He lied to my face. He lied to Congress. He lied to the American people. I specifically asked him if he had any such communication with the White House or anyone that was part of the White House. He lied to all of us. Apparently, in the court filings that came out, it showed that he had communication with Steve Bannon. So that was a very clear communication that he omitted from his testimony.
Will you be taking action? And what might that action be?
Well, I'm proud to have mentioned in the lawsuit that is ongoing, and hopefully we'll soon hear the results from the Supreme Court. But we will continue to make sure, we asked for an investigation from the Attorney General into this blatant omission by our Commerce Secretary.
At the end of the day, no matter what happens with that discussion and that lawsuit, there's obviously the question of what will happen with the census itself, and that you will have undercounting whether this question is there or not. How will you and other members of Congress address that potential outcome? Well,
we are working with everyone. This is all hands on deck with our business community, with our nonprofit and advocacy organizations. We want everyone to be on board. Last time, New York, I believe, had an undercount, and so we're going to make sure, regardless of whether this citizenship question is included in the census, we're going to make sure to reach out to more people and to make sure that the census is being properly funded. And that we have the tools to hear back from people. Obviously, the important outcome that many watch, districting and redistricting, right? Because that is what is going to be used for that very process. I want to move on to something else, and that's the veto override. Do you think that it's worth taking a vote that probably will not pass in the House? It's worth taking a vote. That is our right, our constitutional duty. I'm not sure how optimistic I feel, but it's definitely important to take that vote. Upcoming, since we've got you in the House here, Representative, you are put for, I believe, a stamp as well as a resolution in the House. This has to do with the 150th anniversary of the finishing of the railroad. Why? And it's coming up this month, I believe. Sure. Next month. Yes. This year is the 150th anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad. Chinese workers were an instrumental part, and a majority of the workers who risked their lives and who were underpaid during the completion of this railroad. We have a resolution in the House. We want to make sure that students and communities across America, whether you're Asian American or not, understand the important contributions of Chinese American workers towards helping to build the infrastructure of this country. And this year is that anniversary. Yes. All right. Representative Grace Meng from New York, thank you so much. Democrat from the state, thank you so much. And coming up for all of you, Donald Trump's Twitter attack on the late John McCain.